May I come in, sir?
Yes, please come. Open it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Ashrith.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Ashrith, please introduce to the panel.
Sir, I am Sri Sai Ashrith Shakamuri. I was born and brought up in Warangal. Now I'm living in Hyderabad. I've done my graduation in civil engineering from BITS Pilani. Graduated in 2021 and I've been preparing for civil services since then, sir.
So, Ashrith, why civil services?
Sir, I was born and brought up in a very privileged family. But when I go outside, I don't see the same conditions for everybody. That's when I thought for the first time I should give civil services. My father, as a part of his charity, has done his work towards education and health of poor.
What did you find in civil services which attracted you? Let us come to the features of civil service.
So, the ability to work for the poor. Everybody has their own limitations. If I start giving my own money out of my own pocket, it will dry up soon. But if I have the
okay, then other than that, serving people, poor people, then is that the only reason why you are going in for civil services?
Sir, having a satisfactory life, sir. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, helping people and finding them grow gives me personal happiness. And when passion meets profession is when you live the best life, I believe. That is why I started for civil services.
So, Ashrith, tell me, Telangana after getting bifurcated,
yes, sir.
Has it gained more or has it lost more?
Sir, it has definitely gained in some aspects, sir. In economic development, during the bifurcation, it was the GDP was 4.5 lakh crores. Now it's nearing 13 lakh crores. Economic development wise, it has grown. And the schemes of Telangana government also pushed for social development of all the communities.
So that has been done after post 2014, no?
Yes, sir.
What I am trying to say, at the time of bifurcation, if you compare the advantages of Telangana to Andhra Pradesh, in what manner it has gained?
Sir, in my opinion, comparatively, Telangana has gained more in terms of economic assets and but it has lost a coastline, sir. Which
it
is
has
good.
Missed.
Sir?
Does it have a coastline, Telangana?
It has lost a coastline after bifurcation, sir. I mean, bifurcating from Andhra Pradesh, it has lost the access to the sea.
So that is a loss?
Yes, sir, that is a loss.
And Hyderabad is a gain?
Yes, sir, definitely. And the growth of Hyderabad in the recent years is exponential.
So tell me, you're a civil engineer, Ashrith. So we have seen earthquakes in most parts of the country. So what kind of, we have applied technology in so many areas, but we haven't heard much about application of technology in building and especially the housing. Now, what are those earthquake prone buildings for the poor, I would say, because it is the poor whose buildings collapses, and most of the the people who die are poor people. Now, what kind of houses you think can be made?
Sir, I have not thought about this because incidentally all the earthquake resistant technologies are costly in building. So affordable earthquake resistant buildings I have not thought about, sir. I should look at them.
Online gaming has been banned by Tamil Nadu government.
Yes, sir.
They have brought a bill once again. So you think this gaming is not a good thing for the country?
So there are two types of games, sir. One, gambling, betting and other harmful games like Blue Whale. And there are other games which may instill creativity and develop other good aspects in a human being, like they have helped me. The harmful games must be immediately banned, sir. Whereas the other games which may instill good qualities in a person, they have to be regulated from multiple fronts, because there is a chance of addiction from multiple fronts. I mean from government front as well as the parental regulation.
My last question, Ashrith. Pro-Khalistan protesters have vandalized our British High Commission in British. Now, India has also, you know, removed the security from the British High Commission office in Delhi and also the residence. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir, I have heard about it.
So, is it a good diplomacy? Tit for tat. Isn't it a new thing that we are seeing in India's foreign policy?
Sir, in my personal opinion, it is not a good thing, sir. Rather, we should have the diplomatic channel of India should have talked with Britain on the regarding the Khalistanis attacking the Indian missions in their countries. But taking kind of revenge on such small things is not advisable in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, Ashrith.
Well, Ashrith, you are from Warangal Urban District.
Yes,
That is your hometown. So, are you aware that it is one of the smart cities?
yes, sir.
So, can you tell me what are the developments which have taken place as a part of smart city mission in Warangal Urban in civic infrastructure, governance?
Sir, it has multiple legs, sir. Developing a smart city. One, digitalization of the governance, which eases the life of the citizen in that city. Secondly, using technology so as to make the city sustainable and green, sir.
Sustainable and green. Okay.
Yes, sir. On that front, it is using technology. For example, using technology in traffic lights, AI, and easing the life of the citizen, as well as using resources of the government efficiently.
Okay, good, very good. Now, this Andhra Pradesh government recently organized one global investor summit,
Yes.
which attracted a good amount of investment. Suppose Telangana government also has to organize the same thing, same kind of investor meet, and you are the industry secretary. So, what would be highlights which you would showcase about Telangana's strengths in terms of infrastructure, in terms of demography?
Sir, in terms of infrastructure, it has been developing since the last few years rapidly. In Hyderabad, we can push for pharmaceutical industries as well as life sciences, since the infrastructure has already been built in that area. And in the rest of the Telangana, we can push for IT industries as well as normal industries, for example, textiles.
Textile. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Cotton is a cash crop which is grown in Telangana largely. And there are Warangal and Telangana as a whole is an educational hub, sir. We are producing number of graduates, but they are not getting enough employment. So we have to develop skill development centers as well as invite investments in industries, so in manufacturing, such that our human resources will be used properly and which will progress the state in the right direction.
Now, Ashrith, yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister has launched one 6G mission, which will be rolled out in 2030. So, what was the need of launching it now at this stage, 7 years in advance? Are you aware? 6G mission.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay,
of
no
this
problem.
launch.
My last question, Ashrith, you are a civil engineer. Tell me how we can make our road construction thing more economic, environmentally sustainable, and we can have more green roads.
Sir, one, directly we can use recycled materials and recycled plastic, such as green roads in development of highways, sir.
Plastic is one. Tell me few more
Sir,
things which can be used.
Sir, steel slag, fly ash from coal industries, all these can be used, sir. And there is this policy of NHAI or Ministry of Roads and Transport, that is greening the highways, sir. In the development of highways, many trees are cut. So, as a compensation for that, we are developing we are planting trees on both the sides of the highways. New trees, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ashrith.
Ashrith, you are interested in watching TED Talks.
Yes, sir.
So, which is the best TED Talk that you have watched and what you liked about it?
So, the one recently I watched, I liked the most was by this person, Nisia Petrichenko. She works in International Energy Agency, sir. She talked about developing green buildings. I liked it because 1/3 of the carbon emissions in the world are done by buildings themselves, sir. If we can turn them into green buildings and make them active energy players in the energy ecosystem rather than passive and only using up. We can cut down on emissions a lot since we are facing climate change as an existential crisis.
You talked of green buildings. So, in the smart city project, are we actually talking of green buildings within the smart city?
Sir, I'm not aware of this, sir, but there is no mandate that green buildings should be developed. We, in the national level, we are having a rating called Griha rating, which rate buildings on the greenness of the building. But there is no mandatory rule in smart cities mission, sir, towards green buildings.
Ashrith, tell me about earthquake predictions. With technology being where it is today, we can do anything practically with the technology. Why can't we predict earthquakes?
Sir, earthquake is one natural disaster which we cannot predict with today's technology, sir, because the energy release from the fault lines is sudden and we cannot predict it when it is going to happen. Maybe in future we may have the possibility of using artificial intelligence with all the data previously, feeding the data to the artificial intelligence and may predict them in the future, sir, but not now.
In your district, you want to provide employment to unskilled and illiterate people. What will you do? So
one, as Warangal is a agrarian hub, sir, it is home for one of the largest farm markets in Asia. I would develop food processing industry, sir, which is largely labor intensive industry. They don't need much skills, and I'll work in that area, sir. And secondly, Warangal has a large tourism potential, sir. If tourism is developed in the district, all the allied sectors will also be developed where unskilled and semi-skilled labor can get work.
So how unskilled and illiterate can be used in tourism?
So if I can take an example, development of a resort around Ramappa temple in the region can improve the transport sector and give employment to one auto driver or one bus driver. Like that,
okay.
I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Ashrith, you are from Telangana.
Yes.
And you have opted for anthropology.
Yes.
So, can you name few tribal people groups, tribe groups in Telangana? Can you name few?
Yes, sir. So there are Gonds, Koyas, Lambadas, and Guttikoyas.
And?
Guttikoyas.
Guttikoyas. Okay, done. Now these tribes, I read somewhere that they are in conflict with forest department. Do you know something about that? Why they are in conflict with forest department people?
Yes, sir. Sir, most of these tribes traditionally followed shifting cultivation, sir. But after the Forest Rights Act of 2006, only less than 4 acres will be given to the tribals, and there is no consensus developed between the state governments and the tribals, which due to which they have a lack of trust. And when when forest officers go to their areas,
what is Podu land?
Podu land is shifting, the land which is used for shifting cultivation, sir.
So the forest department claim that it is their land. Okay, and the tribals, they do the cropping over there. They insist on cropping, and that's why there is a clash. Violent clashes has happened in Telangana. So what is the solution? As now you are administrator over here. What is the solution?
So the immediate solution is, according to the Forest Rights Act, giving them land pattas, that is assigning lands to them and restricting them from cutting more forests.
But Ashrith, the forest department is telling that it is a recorded forest land and they have shown the papers. So
every family will be allotted some land for their own. Sir.
Okay.
Apart from that, the remaining will be forest land.
Not remaining. Okay. Then?
The land which is allotted to them shall be given to them, sir. And push for sustainable agriculture rather than shifting cultivation. So then they can, if they move towards settled agriculture, this problem will be solved, sir. And employment in other areas can also be developed.
There is a issue of this under Forest Right Act you are telling, but there is a issue of allotting pattas also in Telangana. The government, I think there is a program, what is that, Harit Haram or something like that?
Yes.
Green afforestation program in Telangana.
Yes,
And
sir,
the government is insisting on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a clash of thing between government itself and the tribals. Isn't that? So what is the solution then? The government wants to afforestation.
So one solution I can think of immediately is surveying the land, sir.
Yes.
Surveying the
Okay.
lands.
You are from Telangana. Do you know something about Rajakars?
Yes, sir. I have read about them.
What is Rajakar?
So Razakars are the employees of erstwhile Nizam, sir, who used to collect taxes
Okay.
forcefully.
You were telling that 1/3 of the carbon dioxide is being emitted by the buildings. Something like that you were telling.
Yes.
So, can you tell me what are various other things which are contributing towards this greenhouse gas emissions besides these green buildings?
Sir, one is agriculture,
Agriculture,
second is transport sector,
transport,
and industries, sir.
and
Industries and energy development.
not human beings.
So
You are also exhaling carbon dioxide,
yes,
isn't that?
but this is for our existence, sir.
Okay.
In there we have here we don't have any option, but there we have an option of developing towards the green growth.
Okay. Thank you, Ashrith.
Thank you, sir.
Ashrith, your second choice is IPS.
Yes.
What affects our police system is it is inefficient and poor conviction rate. If supposing conviction rate is one of the indicator to judge the performance, poor conviction rate and lack of forensic tool or scientific tool used for investigation, completely unsympathetic to poor and underprivileged. So what do you have to say about it? What are the remedies to fix this in police administration?
Sir, I have a few solutions, sir. One is the sensitization of the police forces. Second, decreasing the time in which the people spend in courts, because by that time the witnesses will be removed such that the conviction rate is very low. That is,
But there are other reforms, series of reforms suggested by various committees. Why don't you go into those reports and suggest few reforms implemented or which is yet to be implemented by the states?
sir, as far as I know, in Prakash Singh's case, Honorable Supreme Court has given some guidelines in appointments of police officers.
What are those guidelines? What are the 7 guidelines issued by Supreme Court? And what is the current status insofar as implementation of Telangana is concerned?
So the top police officials should be given appointments on the basis of police board, sir, rather than the political intervention there. That is one
About
way.
DG, what it has said, Director General of Police. And what are the important recommendations given by Supreme Court in the Prakash Singh case?
So specifically, I'm not aware of what it has said about DG, sir.
Ashrith, the deadlock, constitutional deadlock in Telangana cannot be, I think, resolved by Supreme Court. Supreme Court cannot give direction to the governor that you sign the bills. So what is the solution? What is actually a problem between the executive and the governor?
Sir, in the constitution, the role of the governor is not clearly mentioned as it is mentioned for the president, sir. For example,
Role of governor is not mentioned.
not clearly mentioned, not clearly demarcated, sir, as it is done for the
What do
president.
you mean by that?
Sir, in Article 163, Clause 2 of the Constitution, there is this word called discretion, which is interpreted by state governments and governor
The word
differently.
discretion is used in section 163.
Yes, sir.
He
Article
said
163.
governor has discretion.
Yes, sir. In when there is a issue which
No
is not
time
clearly
limit has been prescribed. That is what you want to say.
No, sir. There is clearly this line. If there is an issue which does not fall under either of those, then the governor has the discretion
Either
to
of
decide.
what?
Either of the state or the governor. Then the governor can decide with his discretion under whom the issue falls. That is one area, sir, which is where multiple interpretations are coming in, which is creating the clash between existing state governments and the governor. And in Article 200, there is no time limit for passing the bills. Secondly, it is alleged by the state governments that the reservation of bills, reserving the bills for the president, state bills, it is being done on a political consideration, sir. That is the allegations. These should be reserved.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, Ashrith, anything which we may not have covered from your DAF during the interview?
So, one is Telugu song, singing Telugu songs. Sir.
You are fond of Telugu songs.
Yes, sir.
So, these Telugu songs that you sing are from the Telugu films?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what are the the last movie that came in Hindi version also? Why this song became so popular?
Sir,
Are you understanding what I mean?
yes, sir. The song Natu Natu from the movie R.
No, not Natu Natu. Pushpa.
Pushpa, sir. Yes,
Pushpa the
Pushpa is
Rise.
also, yes, sir. Yes,
What was that song? Don't sing. Aravalli. What is this?
Srivalli, sir.
Srivalli. Was it in Telugu?
Yes, sir. It is a Telugu.
Why it became a big hit? You don't sing that song.
No, sir. I don't sing that song, sir. I clearly don't have an idea why it became that. Maybe it appealed to the masses across the country, sir.
So now why Natu Natu became popular? Because it's got as Oscar?
Sir, it has become popular for one reason. In the West, they don't find such music, sir, that mass beat. So they have embraced this song. And second, the movie production team has worked very well in marketing that song. They have spent nearly 100 crores on marketing for Oscar. So on a combination of both talent as well as marketing has brought Oscar for that.
So we are over with the interview, Ashrith.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You may proceed to the waiting room. We'll call you.
Okay, sir. May I come in, sir?
Yeah, please come, Ashrith.
Thank you, sir.
So, Ashrith, how do you think you have done today?
Sir, in the beginning, I was a little nervous. Then I got used to that.
Yes, we saw that. Your initial answers were not very matured.
Okay, sir.
Is it because you are very young?
I don't know, sir. I'm prepared enough for the interview as
Yeah,
well.
no, there's nothing like that. But you see, the thoughts have to be matured.
Okay,
It
sir.
doesn't matter what your age is. You have not seen as much as maybe a person 5 years elder to you. But then you can always, even if you have not seen, you can visualize, right? You can read.
Yes.
So, you are a very promising candidate, Ashrith. We liked your energy, we liked your confidence, we liked your personality.
Thank you, sir.
You know? So, now you have to have a matured mind on these young shoulders. And maturity of mind, when I say for the 30 minutes of interview, means acquire more knowledge and acquire more depth. Both the range of knowledge and the depth of knowledge. Like even civil engineering, you could not come out with anything on earthquakes.
Right, sir.
Right? This is something we have interviewed many civil engineering candidates like you. Some of them have given beautiful answers. You know, what are the, even in technological terms, what should be done?
Right, sir.
I had some more questions in my mind for urban planning, town planning, starting with buildings and then, but when you could not answer the first one, I did not. So that's one. And then overall, I think you need to, go deeper.
Okay,
And the
sir.
only way out is to read and read and read. Make answers if you wish. Your date hasn't come, Ashrith.
Yes, sir.
So that's an added advantage. Call out questions from your DAF subjects. Possible questions. Not 1, 2. Make 10, 20, 30, as many. Prepare answers on Warangal, on Telangana, on your civil engineering. What can be asked? Link it with the current affairs which is happening. And prepare them. Make answers, read them again and again.
Okay, sir.
You will be more structured and the answers will be retrieved within no time. Alright, this is something which you can try.
Okay, sir.
I'll pass on to our members.
Well, actually, some additional observations. in your answer on civil services, I think you mentioned about privileged family, charity by your
Yes.
father. So avoid all those things. You
Okay,
must
sir.
avoid.
Okay.
Simply highlight the strengths of civil services,
Okay, sir.
like public service, that you have passion for public service. It provides a very diverse platform for public service. Then a lot of career growth opportunities. That's all. Never bring your family. Then in the end, you can say that I was inspired by my family and friends.
Right.
But don't bring father or mother. Just say family and friends,
Okay, sir.
and that should come in the end. So this privileged family, charity, etc. You must this should not be brought in.
Okay, sir.
Then your hand movement was very excessive.
Okay,
Hand
sir.
movement. So that you should control. You will see in the video, all through you are using your hand like this. Hand should be kept here, and little bit of hand movement is okay. That is not the problem, but you must avoid excessive hand movement,
Okay,
right?
sir.
And then the color of your tie, I am not happy with. It should be, it is a dark brown kind of thing.
Yes.
So you should go for some better color.
Okay.
This is very dull color, and okay, maybe you can color can be of your choice, but avoid this brown color.
Okay.
It is very dull. Okay. And shave also, of course, you will go with the shave.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So go for one more mock, because still date has not come. So I'm sure you will be going for another mock also.
Yes, sir.
So go with the kind of fully prepared, like a dress rehearsal, full dress rehearsal.
Okay,
Your
sir.
kind of full attire which you will be using on that day. So that will give you a lot of confidence.
Okay, sir.
And apart from that, of course, as Chairman Sir has mentioned, concentrate on the span and depth of knowledge,
Okay, sir.
and be very, very thorough on your DAF. Each and every word of DAF, you can call out all possible questions and then work on it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all the
Thank you,
best.
sir. Thank you.
So, Ashrith, you are very young. That's a very positive thing as far as you are concerned. You are a good communicator, smile and confident, and you address some of the questions very well. You have to work on smart cities, green buildings, and employment. Again, think about employment, because when you picked up the area, then how will you provide employment to illiterates? So if you are talking of putting them in the construction side, then clearly say so, that tourism will generate some additional employment possibilities through construction, but that's not part of the tourism. All right.
Yes, sir.
So you should have also linked about training. You can always train these people to be more useful and put in the job. So I thought only reply with respect to employment for unskilled and illiterate. You could have done a better job.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Ashrith, you are a bright candidate.
Thank
Okay? So keep on reading whatever you are doing. Just read and read and read.
Yes, sir.
Increase your knowledge base so that answers will be perfect. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
ये हैंड मूवमेंट मैंने भी नोटिस किया, अभी भी आपका हाथ चलता रहता है ऐसा.
Okay, okay, sir.
देखा है कि भाई जो चीज एंगेज है ना, ये बड़ी कि अटेंटिव होना चाहिए आपको. और दूसरा, पुलिस रिफॉर्म पे कुछ तो बोलते, मतलब इतना बड़ा एक टॉपिक ऑफ डिजर्टेशन है, इस पे काफी कुछ बोला जा सकता है. सेपरेशन ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन फ्रॉम लॉ एंड ऑर्डर फंक्शन, कि डीजी शुड बी अपॉइंटेड बाय UPSC कमीशन, 3 names should be sent, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ टेन्योर ऑफ ऑपरेशनल ड्यूटीज में जो पुलिस वाले हैं उनकी, ये कई चीज़ें हैं. कंप्लेंट अथॉरिटी, पुलिस कंप्लेंट अथॉरिटी शुड बी एस्टैब्लिश्ड. स्टेट ने अभी तक, कई स्टेटों ने इम्प्लीमेंट भी नहीं किया है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट हर महीने या 1-1.5 साल में मांगता रहता है स्टेटस रिपोर्ट. तो ये बहुत बड़ा टॉपिक था, बता सकते थे.
Okay, sir.
और ये जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डेडलॉक है, ये तो रिसेंट है कि गवर्नर कोई चीज़ का बिल का साइन ही ना करे तो फिर तो होगा ही नहीं काम. हर बिल को थोड़ी वीटो पावर है. इधर यू सेंड इट बैक, से आई हैव दिस ऑब्जर्वेशन, लाइक व्हाट तमिलनाडु गवर्नर सेड अबाउट दिस, और यू कैन नॉट कीप इट हैंगिंग फॉर सो लॉन्ग. फिर तो गवर्नमेंट चल ही नहीं जा सकती, ऐसे तो पैरालिसिस हो जाएगा. तो इसीलिए ये इशू है वहाँ पे. गवर्नर की रोल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ये डिफाइंड नहीं है कि कब तक ये साइन करे. देयर हैज टू बी टाइम लिमिट.
Right, sir.
एंड उसका वो मिसयूज करते हुए हर चीज को वो वीटो की तरह यूज करे तो वो ठीक नहीं है. तो इश्यू है ये, उसका समाधान कैसे होगा, टाइम विल ओनली टेल. In any case, Supreme Court cannot direct, but it can only interpret the constitution in a manner which will give some solution.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Ashrith, do you have any questions to ask?
No, sir. The one question where I told the move taken by Indian government, removing security from UK,
I like that.
but is that good, sir?
Anti-government, you mean?
Yes,
sir. So
which is
what?
a very recent.
No, your stand was good. I mean, anyone would think this way.
I agree.
Tit for
Good
tat,
stand.
tit for
Good
tat
stand.
diplomacy.
That was a good study.
I also agree.
Ah.
Good stand.
Very matured.
Okay, sir.
And you also gave a solution. You just said, you didn't just say that no, I don't agree. You also mentioned that they should have got into a dialogue, and I would rather add, in such a question is asked, and waited for their response. No, problem is that it was a very impatient kind of act. One day you did this, second day we do this. If they are not acting, we will also not act. And these kinds of, in world diplomacy, these are very, not a very matured way of dealing. Because tomorrow if something happens here, they will also do there. It is not, this discretion is available to all.
Yes, sir.
That is why people behave in a reasonable and in a manner which, balanced manner. And they wait. If they find that there is something that, they are not doing it, and that will be a bigger matter. These are, Khalistan issue is a big matter, of course. But the Prime Minister could have spoken to the Prime Minister of that country. The Foreign Minister could have spoken, and likewise, it could have been taken up at the highest level. Are you getting me? Can you do it with China?
Yes, sir. With any country. we
No,
can
no.
go drawing-
If suppose something happens in our Beijing embassy, and we remove the security from China
No, sir. With no country we
or
can.
US, it will be difficult. With British, maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, it's not a good move.
Okay, sir.
Your answer was good. Anything else to ask?
That's it, sir. Thank
So,
you.
Ashrith, we have given you 63% today.
Okay, sir.
This is your first interview, no?
175.
UPSC?
Yes, sir.
174.
First interview.
174 marks.
Okay, sir.
So, you're doing very well, Ashrith. Just build upon what we have mentioned, and you'll do very well.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. to you.
Thank you, sir.